All right, welcome. This is a book discussion for Doing Imago Relationship Therapy in the space between. Boy, my camera really doesn't want to pick that up. Um, and this is our last chapter. We're doing chapter 12, and then we're going to start our book discussion all over again with just short 7-minute recordings and not record the rest of it. So I hope people will join us to look at this again. And I was just saying before I started the recording to Anna that running this book group has been such a gift to me to spend time with my colleagues, like hear people's thoughts about the book and what they're doing in their practices and their questions. And so I'm looking forward to do another year of the same book and just do it a little bit differently. Yeah.
Very cool.
So welcome, Anna. I think Bonnie's trying to get in. We'll see. Um, but so this is the chapter on revisioning, which is we're not going through all the other pieces, but they're actually 5 R's to bringing couples to conscious couplehood. And revisioning is one of them. There's also reimagining your partner, like understanding their vulnerabilities, reimagining them as more complex than our brain wants to start with, and restructuring our frustrations and recommitting to seeing our relationship as a vehicle for growth. And what's the fifth one that I'm
Revisioning, recommitting, revision, recommit, reimagine,
restructuring,
structure,
reimagining, removing negativity, and re-romanticizing. There's actually six.
re-romanticizing.
Yeah. So we're not going to go through all of these in this book discussion. We're going to just restart and cover them next time. But I like that we're ending in revisioning because I think it's one of the most critical differences in our methodology. I think the other methodologies that work with couples have grown over the years away from problem solving to connection. But I don't know that they have fully stretched into this piece. I'm not as familiar with all of them, but I love that we really embrace the power of revisioning and starting from the very first session. And that's really what is reiterated over and over again in this chapter, which was a nice reminder because, of course, our brains are so hijacked, so tempted to go to the problem and to look at what's going on. So I had a lot of quotes that I pulled out about this that I think are cool. Um, so, what would you like to do? Because I want to hear from you about just what you do in your practice, like not just beyond
Mhm,
even the book.
mhm.
Do you want to do that after we talk about the book a little bit
Yeah, let's
before
talk
you
about the
go?
book. I mean, I don't have as much time as I would like, but let's talk about the book first, and then we can share a bit about how we actually implement.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, so I like at the very beginning of this chapter, they just get to the what, why, and when. Just like beautiful. So, what guide couples to transform their implicit individual relationship dreams? So, implicitly, we're aware of what we want, right? We're aware of our dreams, maybe not explicitly, but implicitly in our nervous systems, we know I want something into a joint relationship vision. So, that's what we're trying to do. And the why is because the vision becomes a roadmap for therapy and shifts couples' focus away from obsessing over what is not working in their relationship to imagining its potential. So I think that is so beautiful because, like I kind of mentioned other methodologies, a lot of times they're bringing up such important points like, well, what about sex? What about trauma? What about the body? What about, you know, the brain? Like, yes, and that's where the couple's starting. What is the potential?
Hmm.
That's what I think is so
Hmm.
amazing is this quantum view of a couple is that they're in process. We don't have to define them by where they are in the process right now. We can help them move towards what's possible, given that I don't know, like whatever my sexual problems are, whatever my trauma, whatever's going in my nervous system, given that right now, what is possible? And that's just so
It's like
beautiful.
the visioning is the container. It becomes the container
Yes,
for the differences.
yes, exactly. Yeah, they're still there. And like, oh, I wish I'd recorded this demo of this couple I did in San Antonio because I'd never met them before, you know. Hey, Bonnie, they agreed to just come in and do a demo for my class. And as we worked towards what was possible in the next week or two, the old resentments came up, they were acknowledged, and then we kept going. It's not like we don't acknowledge them,
Mhm,
we can't validate them, but then we have the energy to acknowledge them as we're thinking about what's possible.
mhm,
Yeah. So
mhm. It's dreaming, but it's dreaming in a more concrete way.
yes, it for me, and we'll, I mean, we can talk about how we do this in our practice in a little bit. But I find dreaming next week is far more doable and actually gets us to little stretches than the big vision, which I think is
Mm,
also important. But
mm,
sometimes for me, because I'm probably because I'm very immature, um, seeing the big vision and seeing the distance between where I am and that, I can fall into real a pit,
right, right.
right? So I
That
think
makes
it is
sense.
important what's possible, big time, and not to be there too long and to start to get into what's possible next week.
Hmm.
And if that happened, what I would believe about myself and what I believe about you and what I could do different and
Hmm.
the commitment I can make to make that, try to make that happen. And to me, it's just more manageable.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like both big and
Yeah,
little.
yeah. Yeah, that
Hmm.
makes sense.
And it says when in the first session and thereafter assign specific behaviors to practice between sessions that will integrate session work with their daily life. So kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. I just like the dialogue that helps with that. Um, I don't know. I guess I didn't underline the things I made into memes. Um, so I can
Are
pull
you
up.
sharing the memes?
Well, yeah, and I'll pull them up and just share them, just
Okay.
and so we
Yeah.
can read them together.
Yeah.
Um, Bonnie, don't read them because you're driving. Don't want you to get into an accident. But and these are posted on Facebook, and I'll keep posting them. Uh, Here it is.
Thank you for all the work you're doing in this. It's so rich.
Thank you. Yes, I'm glad you appreciate it because this is where my like autistic obsessive nature it helps me, but it can help other people too. So, okay. The vision oh, I just read this. The vision becomes a roadmap for therapy and shifts couples' focus from obsessing over what is not working in their relationship to imagining its potential. So there's something about reading it there versus a book that my brain can metabolize it.
Yeah. So the shift from the negative to the positive is held by the vision.
Yes, exactly.
It's and what that invites, what I read in this is that and this is I think a piece that I miss a lot for my couples and for us in our relationship is having it in front of us because the reminders matter. Because you can write it, we've done the vision more than once, different kinds of visions, and then tuck them away.
Exactly. No, it's interesting, because I'm learning to surf, and it's interesting to watch my brain and how quickly it loses focus and how quickly it forgets about the basic steps that I need to know to be
Hmm.
successful. And
Hmm.
I'm out there practicing every day, and still my brain just stops.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think it's so important to have it up in front of us. I don't know how we keep it up in front of us. I mean, you know, it's a daily practice. Sometimes I think if I
We have
wasn't teaching this, I
screensavers.
wouldn't have a shot at this.
We have screensavers. I feel the same way. by teaching, by doing workshops, it brings me and our relationship continuously into focus in the way we need it to be. I don't know how we would do without that. The reminders are continuous, but I do think, you could do screensavers with your memes or something with little slides of your vision.
Exactly.
Something. I do think there needs to be something. So we have
Yeah.
done stickies around our house.
Yeah. It's just a constant thing. Although I live with my blueprint for my growth. So if I just listen to him, maybe that would be it. Um, okay. So
Yeah.
without relational education and competence, couples unconsciously model their relationship after what they've witnessed and internalized from their families, staying in the illusion until their pain reaches the threshold of intolerance.
Great.
That just blows me away, that sentence. Like, wow, he said that all in one sentence so eloquently. It's just like, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That's why we have to go to workshops and not just one, but every year,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like, let me see if I switch. Nope. I have to stop sharing each time and restart, I think. I don't know why. Um, you want to read this one?
Sure. But when couples become intentional and create their vision rather than focusing on their grievances, they become residents of their co-created dream rather than prisoners in their co-created nightmare.
I just love, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I was just like, just one of these is so eloquent, but then
Yeah.
to read
Yeah.
paragraph after paragraph,
Hmm.
yeah. And really
Hmm.
kind of saying the same thing, but like slightly differently.
Well, and they land differently with different people. The way that we message lands so differently with different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I hear it from different people, like just hearing you read it helps me. Will you read this one too?
Sure. The therapy office provides couples an environment in which they can dream their dreams rather than merely remember and recite their suffering and practice their defenses. That is so true, I think, of the Imago therapy office.
Yes. I
It's
have
how we, in a
goosebumps.
way, it's in a way that is the invitation.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, we just
Again.
posted something like that where about what it is that happens in the office. I can't remember, but it's essentially from this. Yes.
Well, I do feel like this is true for individual therapy as well. That if therapy is just griping about your pain and rehashing the same story over and over again, then we're not really doing a service to the clients. There should be also a space to dream,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
to
Well, and
dream
we
what
become
life could be different, you know?
the therapist becomes the mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, and uh, did you ever read Bruce Eckert's book, Unlocking the Emotional Brain?
I did not.
It's such a amazing book. And actually you can like there's articles that summarize the book quite well. But what he's saying is the way the brain works is that when we pair the pain with the positive. So in EMDR, the positive cognition gets paired with the negative cognition. In Imago, like a parent-child dialogue, we have our partner listening in a different way than our parents while we're remembering the parents. Or what many of our processes pair positive and negative because the negative is going to come up because the brain is oriented towards it. So when you focus on the positive and you acknowledge the negative, what it does is it unlocks the synapses for more adaptive information to come in because they're locked down, right? So you have to have the pairing of positive and negative. So when we give people space to dream with the person that they have pain, we're actually helping them like change their brain to like, oh yeah, you're also my beloved and the source of pleasure, right?
Hmm.
And then and
Hmm.
that pairing helps us reprocess.
Hmm. Hmm. I
Anyway,
was just
that's
thinking
just
about,
technical.
no, it makes a lot of sense. And I just was pulling up the book so I won't forget the title. Um, I was thinking about gratitude as you were talking.
Yeah.
And I just did a 6 week meditation course with a psychologist local who is a Buddhist person. Like she's
Yeah.
done a ton of, you know, work and research. And she's retired from psychology and now she teaches meditation.
Nice.
And she was talking, you know, about the importance of gratitude and a gratitude practice. And it feels to me like that is the positive. You know, that is
Yeah.
such a good way to embed it. And
Yes.
it's how we use appreciations.
Yes. Exactly. And if we just skip over the
Mhm.
pain and only focus on the positive, we're not reprocessing, right? It's the pairing,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And the
Hmm.
acknowledging both and not going too much down one path, right? Anyway, oh,
It's okay. It
Bonnie, it
matches up
really
with all
looks
the
snowy there. Is that, I think those are power lines we're seeing.
it
Anyway, be
matches up
safe.
with the trauma research, true, right? It's the pendulation.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. I got another one here. In a safe environment, couples can shift their focus away from the deficits to the strengths, from the problems to the resources of a relationship.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's kind of the same idea, but just saying it a different way.
Well, and I think what it's also saying is that the safety comes from the vision contributes to the safety, sharing a vision.
Exactly.
It contributes to the safety, it contributes to the co-regulation. All of it is embedded in this or potentially embedded.
Yes.
Revision, you want me to read
Yeah,
this?
go ahead. Yeah.
Revisioning is an invitation for couples to shift from reviewing their painful memories to activating their imagination in the service of creating an alternative to their current relationship.
Yeah. So kind of just a definition of revisioning. I thought, well, that's kind of
I like that
important.
one a lot.
Yeah. It's just important, just like that's what we're talking about. Hmm. And I liked that he's talking there, they're talking there about like activating the imagination, which I think honestly, we watch so many movies and all this, and we don't have to use our imagination like we do when we read a book. And I don't know how much we're using our imagination. I feel like this is an invitation to sort of engage in asking your brain to think about what's possible.
I think imagination, Tim and I have been talking a lot about imagination, and I think because we've been talking a lot about empathy and trying to break it down in ways that we can implement it for each other.
Hmm. Hmm.
And without imagination, we are really going to be challenged. And there are people who struggle more with imagination than others.
Yeah,
And it is absolutely key for the work to, in a way, teach. And of course, some people grow up without having that part of their brain exercised.
exactly. Well, that's
Imagination
partly the thinking brain, the thinking function.
is
Yeah.
imagination.
Hmm. Hmm. I use my hands to talk and then Zoom thinks I want to raise my hand. I'm like, oh, it's
Well,
happening
you
during
do
my
really.
sessions. I'm doing things and then little emojis pop up. Hate it.
You do want to raise your hand. You have lots to say. Go for it.
Well, let's go to the next quote. Uh, I'll let you read that too, if you
But
will.
it is important that you resist the pressure of allowing them to talk about their presenting problem, recite past abuses, and make negative remarks about each other so you will know where the problem lies.
Yeah. So this is where they're talking about first sessions and that temptation, both the temptation and the pressure, like, oh, they're paying me. This is what they want. And I think being a uh like a client-centered, Rogerian person, we want to meet them where they're at and attune to them. And like that's part of how individual work works is we go, yeah, you kind of lead, I'm going to listen. We're not maybe as directive. And here with couples work, we have to be directive. We have to say, I know it makes sense you want to do this, and it makes sense you want me to understand. And I'm going to ask that you just try this experiment with me to do it
Yeah.
differently today. And then we
Mhm.
can hear if you hated it, if you want to fire me, if you think this could work. But
Great.
we kind of have to take that lead energy
Yeah.
and not like not fall victim to that pressure or the temptation because the problems can be so, is the word salacious? They
Mhm.
did what? They used
Mhm.
cocaine where? They did what
Mhm.
with who? It's like
Mhm.
very salacious information. By the time they
Mhm.
get there, they have built their case and it is very dramatic.
And there's no time left for a dialogue.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
The
So we
whole session
really
has been
have to
taken up.
take charge
Yeah.
and say, we're gonna do this today. You can fire me afterwards.
I
I,
like that line.
you
You can
know,
fire me afterwards.
yeah, I want to hear all about what you hated, what you didn't hate. And one thing I teach my trainees, I'm like, I don't tell people what it is that I'm doing, like what it's called, that it's called Imago, that it's a whole. I don't start there when they've come into my office and they have no background. They need a whole weekend workshop to get the process. So if in the first session, if I say I'm doing Imago and there's one element they didn't like,
Hmm.
they'll say, well, I don't want to do that Imago thing.
Right.
I'm like, no, I want to hear the one element you didn't like and how we can work with that.
That's great. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's saying, we notice you haven't spoken, so we will lower your hand in 3 seconds. I was like, okay, I don't know what you're seeing.
It's not listening to you very well.
Well, AI is miraculous in some ways, and
Yeah.
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 Okay, let's see. To focus on an outcome that fulfills their potential instead of the debris of a shattered dream is a way back to full aliveness, joy, and wonder in a conscious partnership. Just so
Yeah.
beautifully written.
It
I'm
is
just so,
beautifully written. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I
The
got
debris
two
of the
more of
shattered
these.
dream. Yes. Well, because grief, of course, is what's showing up there, right? So if
Yeah,
they want to live in the grief, then we're not going to move into what's possible.
yeah.
And yeah.
And the brain's built to focus on that so it doesn't happen
Hmm.
again.
Hmm. Hmm. That's that negativity,
Mm-hmm.
bias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, two more quotes. The one I wanted to
They're
reference
great.
earlier is the one that, because you talked about safety, and I think it's gonna kind of back you up. You want to read this one?
Sure. It is critically important that the first session provide the couple with a new experience that portends the possibilities in their relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually a lovely way to see a first session, that it's about what's possible. Let's see what's possible rather
Yeah.
than have a complaint session. And I remember, I remember with Maureen Bryan in my training, I remember her saying, you might only get one session.
Right.
You might only get one session. So what can you do in that one session? And so that's actually ties that together for me.
I have
Mhm.
goosebumps because, yeah, the average number of sessions a couple attends is one. That's the average. So some
Yeah.
people attend 100, but that means most people attend one
Mm.
because they come, it's too late,
Hmm.
or what for whatever reason. So I love that. What can we do in one session?
Hmm.
And this is so hard. It's a challenge of training therapists because, like, I sat with Pat Love for 3 hours for like a year every month or something.
Yeah.
And at the end of that year, I finally heard what she'd been saying the whole time, which
Which
is
was,
they need to have an emotional experience of
yes,
connecting
yes,
before they leave your office in that first session, or they will not come back.
right, right. So for me in a first session, I know you have one more slide,
No, but
but I
go
was just
ahead.
thinking about this. I always make sure an appreciation dialogue happens. I don't know if you
Exactly.
teach that,
Oh,
always.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
that is the transformative
It
moment.
is
Like
the
everything leads,
only, yeah. Yep.
Everything leads to that. I might, if I have time, do a skill one first and then appreciation. But if I can see the clock ticking and we have nothing else, I go straight for appreciation. And
Exactly.
and then the tears come and then the feelings come
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, yeah,
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
you made it safely to your beautiful office.
Yeah, hi, Bonnie.
Anything you
Colonel,
want to share from listening in?
give me 1 minute.
Okay, yeah. Take your time. This has just been such a delight to talk about this. Okay, this is my last little slide, and then we'll hear from Bonnie.
Great.
Um, okay, when couples are safe, they relax their defenses and communicate about their needs, similarities, and differences without polarizing.
Can
So,
you read it again? Read it one
yeah,
more time.
yeah. And this is connected to the vision, like why we do the vision, because it
Mm-hmm.
does help them get safe, which is what you said. And when couples are safe, they relax their defenses and communicate about their needs, similarities, and differences without polarizing. Yeah.
It speaks to, I hadn't thought about this, and I don't know how often you do this and talk about it in your teaching when couples return to their vision to review it and talk about where they've had success rather than where they've fallen.
Yes. Again, we have to stay with that, like just
Testing 1, 2,
relentlessly, like a
testing.
little dog with a bone, that no, we're not going to where you failed. We're not going to what went wrong. Of course, things went wrong. We're going to try to stretch into what went well.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. But
Bonnie, we can hear you. She was testing in the
oh,
background.
Bonnie, we hear you. We hear you. Look, we hear you. No, you can't hear us.
Yeah.
When you said testing, we could hear you. Okay. All right. She's still problem solving.
Yes, yes. But
It's
anything
okay.
you
It's
want
going
to
to be you and
share?
Bonnie. It's going to be you and Bonnie for the second half because I'm going to deke out in about five
Exactly.
more minutes.
Yeah. But so what else do you want to share? I love our conversation. It's so wonderful.
Well, you were asking about how we use visioning.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good place to, in keeping with Harville and Helen's, this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you want to tell me, like, because the idea of visioning in first session for me is it's not where I go. I might mention the vision,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to get them to that place where they can have an experience. And if they're bringing in something that is really big, getting them just into a regulated space where they can learn to mirror might be all we get in a first session.
Yeah. It's interesting because this is a dilemma that I have. I'm glad you brought it up because, like I said, I listen to Pat Love. They need to have this emotional experience of connection to even give one crap about making a vision together, especially if they're in a hard place. So, I'm more like a second session. Sometimes what the way I'll vision is I'll ask them if one person, if your partner had a magic wand, right? What would they be
Yeah.
changing? And are you motivated to change that? And then that sort of becomes the vision is you'll do this and you'll do that and right. And typically, if I do the magic wand exercise with them and then we do an appreciation, it's like they see the links between what they appreciated and some of that vision in the chart, like in their, so that's a form of vision.
Mm-hmm.
Other people I've seen do like they ask them these questions and then they sort of tell a story, like they tell their story. I think I'm too concrete for that because I
You
don't,
mean the romantic beginning story?
yeah, like this couple, they met and this was so great and they had these dreams and then and they tell this story and Garrett Bedrosin knows how to do this and uh, it's harder for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, so to me the
Yeah,
magic wand thing sort of starts towards the vision.
right.
And then I like the dreaming tomorrow dialogue. So we do appreciations and then we start to dream about what's possible
Mm.
because I know that's where the unmet needs start to move.
May I check in? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, here you are. Yay!
I've caused you more grief than anything. I should have
No, we
just
love
driven
you. We're
home and
so
gotten
glad
home.
you're here.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, come on in. How are you?
Amen.
How are you?
Good.
I'm glad you drove safely. Anything about what you've been overhearing that you want to speak on or
Oh, I just love the focus on uh, being creators. I love that.
mm,
And I'm not sure, mm, I'm not sure that's where Imago began, at least in my training. And so I love reading Harville's. Isn't he amazing? These words. I don't know if this is him or anyway. It's it's very nice. It's very nice. And of course, it as a therapist, anything I learn, I pour into my relationship as a test case. And so it has been fun to kind of like this don't postpone joy. And at our tender ages, we're really committed to uh, plan and really keep looking at each other as the gift we picked. We picked a gift when we got each other,
mm,
and I like the emphasis here as y'all were talking and holding the space for me.
yeah, but I want to mirror a couple words because they're really powerful because I don't know that he has used that. He's used the word, but the way you're saying creator, the
Mm,
emphasis that we are creators, like just to begin there is very empowering.
mhm,
And then you're getting into what I am hearing them talk more about now, which is not just appreciation, because appreciation is like, here's what I like about you, what you've done for me, right? But getting into the affirmation, you are a gift I chose, like is an affirmation of a person's innate value.
mhm,
Yeah. And I like that we're acknowledging both pieces are and how important they are. I
mhm.
think they kind of got to it with the global piece in flooding, what the global
Right.
when you get to the global piece and you're like, you're amazing, you're the most, I'm so
I love
lucky,
that.
but so I'm just checking my computer there. Um, but yeah, Bonnie, I also like that you brought up, did we start here? Because when I go back and I read Harville's papers from like the 19 late 70s, early 80s, he is saying the same thing.
Oh my God.
And I
No.
think part of it is that we have to be ready to hear it. And I know I was not ready to hear a lot of what was in my initial training. And we were talking about this earlier, about the repetition and how important it is that this is repeated over and over again because it's a way of thinking that is counter to everything we were trained in academically, we're trained at work, you're paid to solve a problem. And so I hold the same question. Was it there? Was it not there? Did he just not have maybe the language to communicate it, or could I not hear? Like, I think it's a little of both. I do think it's a little of both. But I am blown away when I go back and read his original papers. He is talking about the relational paradigm there in the 80s,
Wow.
you know?
Good.
And honestly, like so this book came out, he's talking about the relational paradigm. I'm a faculty member, so I'm feeling like, God, I really should understand this. And I'm like, what is the relational paradigm? I don't really get it. And I spent a lot of time researching and trying to get it and trying to find a way to explain it.
Mm.
And it's so hard.
Well, you keep trying because it's really helpful when you try for the rest of
Thank
us, for
you.
me.
Thank you. I'm
Well,
supposed to talk in Australia at like 2:30 in the morning on the relational paradigm. So hopefully they'll record it.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. I was thinking as you were both talking about this that the vision is has to hold two different dreams that then have places where they intersect. And I don't,
Hmm.
as I said, I haven't got to this chapter yet, so I
Hmm.
looking forward to it. I'm behind the eight ball, but I was thinking about something from the last, I think the last time we talked about the book where our number one injunction really is to be our partner's healer. And I have held on to that since we talked about it in all the work I've been doing with couples,
Mm,
like a kind of like a guiding beam. I'm just like,
wow.
well, how is what you're doing right now? How is that doing the thing? Like challenging because so I was just thinking about tying those together. The vision, right, which holds the template for how we are one another's healers, which
Yeah,
is the number one purpose.
exactly. And I like that you're bringing this up because it's super complicated. Because we talked about in the context that the therapist is not the healer, right? So that's why we're talking about like where is the
Right,
source of healing? And I think it's important what we're saying is the couple is the source of each other's healing. They're the
right.
only ones that my partner is the only one that can actually heal my attachment history. My therapist might help a little bit, but really my body, my brain wants it from him. And so we're saying the source of healing is in between the couple. But when we're coming from an individual paradigm, what we hear is I have to do it. I
Right.
have to do it for them. That's why the relational paradigm is so important because the relational paradigm says you're in a process
Hmm.
together,
Hmm.
right? And so it's like it's really important how we hear this idea about where the healing comes from.
So
That the
maybe,
healing comes from Stephen, right? And so his healing comes from me, my healing comes from him, but not really. It comes from the space between and us
Right.
engaging together in the space between. And if you are in the individual paradigm, you're going to hear it differently,
yeah.
right? And that's why it's so hard. It's so hard for us to talk about imago, and we are often dismissed, I think, by other methodologies and argued with
Mhm.
because they are interventionalists. They intervene in that space, they take responsibility. They don't really understand what we're saying is that no, there's a process that we're trying to get the couple to engage in. Does that make sense?
It
It
makes
does.
sense. And as you were talking, uh, it, it seems an easy slip into uh, speaking about the relational space heals us. And then you don't have to
Yeah,
say, Darcy heals me,
right.
because the relational space is made of uh,
What's getting put in there?
exactly garbage in,
Yes.
garbage out, then that's what's going to happen. And if not, I can remember Haiti, asking you to touch that space. What does it feel like? What color is it? Is it light? Is it heavy? It was, and I kind of keep doing that.
I feel like she really did get that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I
Yeah,
guess we
she
started
really
something
talked
new.
about the space between
Mhm.
in a way that it's very powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, so Anna has to go. She's still listening. Um,
I see that.
yeah, but yeah, this is important. How do we communicate this idea? And so I like what you're saying, Bonnie, is if we talk about the relational space is what heals us, and that we both have to engage in the relational space to create it and to benefit from it. That sounds very different than we are each other's healers.
It does to me,
Yeah.
and it
And
um
they're both true,
and they're
right?
both
It's
true.
just like you said, it's easy to slip into the other idea from that language.
Yes, yeah. And then the naysayers or whomever um
Well, people
are
who
kind of
just
in,
aren't coming the same from the same paradigm.
but they can, I think I can chew on much longer and, keep
Yeah.
sucking out the potential of the relational space
Yes.
and
I
what is
love it.
needed and what safety is needed, et cetera, as opposed to what do I need from you?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
here's the list. And if I'm receptive, I'll be ready to experience it. And I guess I have to do that to you. It's almost like an individual model speaking about something that's really happening relationally.
Exactly. No, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I slip into this myself all the time. I want Stephen to do this thing
Right.
or stop doing that thing.
Right.
Yep. And how can I think about my interactions with him? Are my interactions demanding, critical, or, you know, yeah,
What am I putting in the atmosphere, in the ether? Like,
yeah,
what am I?
yeah,
What is my energy? What is my face? What
yeah.
is what are my words? What is the sound I'm making? What am I doing?
Yes. Even what am I thinking?
Farting and burping. I mean, the whole thing.
The whole thing. Yes. And I'm asking this like a question, like, I don't know. What am I critical? Like, no, I'm critical. It's not a question. Uh, yeah. Yeah. So I can barely understand the theory, just enough to teach on it, but not quite enough to live into it consistently.
And I think that to me is what is so very attractive as I be with you, Michelle. The honesty, the vulnerability of saying, hey, guess what? I know this stuff, but
Yeah.
I ain't living it day in and day out. And that's what we all need to realize.
Right.
This is not a start at go and then be finished at end.
No, not for me. I don't know. I'm a slow learner. As I'm on like fifth year of learning to surf, I'm like, I am kind of slow on
That
learning
was a
things.
great story I heard about you. So there are ways that you get taught how to surf, and there's steps, and you're saying in the midst of you're just going back to what
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, I forget to breathe,
that's
or I'm
essential.
thinking on what do I need to do with my arm once I stand up, but I still have to figure out how to stand up,
Oh wow.
and they're all really in sequence. And like, it's just a process of forgetting and learning, and eventually learning enough that I can do something new. But
And
it's
that
so
you,
humbling.
well, yeah, and that you get to look back and say, um, the only reason I now can do this differently than I did is because I stayed at it, which is the story for us couples.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm hoping to go speak at a surf therapy conference about what surfing has taught me about relationships.
Whoa, I want to go. I'll be right there.
Okay, I'll let you know. They did it in Scotland this last year. I'm hoping they pick someplace
Oh my
warm.
God, that's excellent.
Yeah. But it is the same metaphor because we have to make thousands and thousands and thousands of mistakes before we will start to learn how to do something different. And how lucky are we to have a partner who's willing to let us make that many mistakes?
And vice versa.
Yes, exactly. It's like, wow, okay, you
Yeah, we
know,
celebrate 36 years Christmas Day.
you got
And
married on Christmas Day or you met on Christmas Day.
well, us gay folk didn't have a lot of okay rules and laws when
Yeah,
we got together. So it was the day that we committed to each other, if you will,
okay. Yeah,
on a
yeah.
beach in Mexico. It was quite romantic with a
Right.
full,
You're right. You wouldn't have had legal marriage 36 years ago.
no, no, not at all. We is now 15, 16 years legally married. So
Okay.
there you go.
But you
Uh,
made your commitment on a beach in Mexico on Christmas Day.
yeah, you look
What
back and
year?
1989.
89. Oh, wow.
We're
Do you have a
old.
photo? Send me a photo. I want to see.
God, I don't know if we have a photo. people weren't doing that back
I
then.
know, for real, right?
I wish we had. It would have been quite
Yeah.
fun.
Did you, I assume you did something more traditional when you officially legally got married, or
It actually was even non-traditional compared. I mean, there was no service or ceremony. We
no?
in Arizona, we called our two best friends because we had
Okay.
moved back to Cincinnati at the time, and we said, "Can you meet us in 45 minutes at a JP, a Justice of the Peace in Phoenix?"
Did
And
they
they
take a
said,
picture then?
"Yeah, yeah, we've got
Okay.
that one."
Okay.
And so we ran to Dillard's and got new T-shirts.
Nice. Nice.
Anyway, it was lovely.
Oh. Well,
What we
all that other stuff, the traditions, the expectations, societal norms, they don't really do us any favors in trying to make our marriages, our committed relationships work anyway. So I like that you're like, let's go get new t-shirts and somebody will take a picture of us. Like, yeah, that's probably the right amount of energy to put into that.
it was there. I'm trying to think of the money we would have put out if we had gone traditional.
Yeah.
Um, it would have been enough to probably save one or two families from food loss.
Yeah,
We
right.
didn't do all that. Anyway,
Yeah.
are you in Costa Rica as we speak?
Mhm. Yeah, I
Amazing.
went surfing at 5:30 this morning.
I think this is rude right now to ask any more questions of you being in Costa Rica.
Well, I do want to tell you this.
21 outside, Michelle.
I know, come visit me. So this morning, as we're surfing, the moon is really big. It's a full moon and it's
It's
like
the
a really
last full
big
moon of
moon,
the year.
right? And
Yeah.
on one side over the ocean is the moon starting to set, and the other side is the sun coming up, and they're about the same place in the sky at the same time while we're
You
surfing.
levitate?
I have to pinch myself. This is another good metaphor though, Bonnie, because Um, I'm talking to my surf instructor today about like how silly it is. Like I'll have this idea, oh, I'll get a bunch of money and then I can help feed children. And I said, and I'll just make that my job. So like, why not just enjoy the job I have right now? I am doing good in the world, like, but instead it's like, no, there's this other job that will be even better. And it's like I'm in paradise. I live in paradise and
Yeah,
my mind wants to do other things rather than just be in it and enjoy the miracle. So
there we
we had a
go. There
few
we are.
moments. We had a few moments of enjoying the miracle, but my relationship is also a miracle and I
And
forget it and I look at the grumpy brain. So
sure.
it's also a good metaphor. Like, we can be in paradise and so lucky to have a partner willing to make mistakes and work through mistakes with us and yet be grumpy.
And to make peace with that, and just as Haiti used to talk about laundry therapy, just fold it in. Just fold it in. We've been there. We were there for 3 weeks quite a few years ago. Can I know where you are? People are going to
Yes.
listen to us and say, "What is this?"
Right, right. So I don't know what direction Tamarindo is from us. I think it's south, but I'm not sure. But we're on the Pacific side,
Okay.
and we are about an hour and a half south of Nicaragua.
Oh, okay.
So pretty
You know where
far north,
Corcovado is?
pretty far north along the coast on the Pacific
Oh,
side. And
okay.
Tamarindo, like we see Tamarindo from our house.
Okay.
It's really close, and that's
Right.
the big city. Like that's what most people know in our area. We live in
Not
a
San
section
Jose.
called Playa Grande, which is it's a sleepy surf area where the turtles are, and so there's not a lot of building. But we're
I
close enough to
Yes,
Tamarindo.
we took tours through Cor Cocovado. No, it's it's a forest where they claim everything needed to heal humans is in there, and half of Corcovado isn't even examined yet. And it's right there on your your island.
Yeah, no, I believe that when we're actually an isthmus.
You're an isthmus.
Yeah, so like I can't say that
Well,
word.
Merry Isthmus to you too.
Right? We you're so clever. Uh we go to this place, La Senda, which is about an hour from here, and we do actually a very sweet lesbian couple owns it. I think they're Dutch, and
Yeah,
they have an organic farm and they have a restaurant and hotel also at another place, but they grow their food there. And they have the world's largest labyrinth,
good night.
and they have a beautiful geometric dome. So it's very sacred land, and we go there. And I've had a medicine tour from the caretaker of that land, and yeah, it has medicines. The trees, the plants, the barks are all these
Oh,
amazing healing
yeah.
things. But it's probably in your neighborhood too. Like we're so not connected to that there's milk thistle growing on the side of the road and dandelions and like that can be very healing.
Well said. Yeah.
Yeah. Like our relationships. We just don't know what's
Well,
possible.
it's all true. And to uh, I love to play with the stars, and when stars die, uh, they they die and implode and explode at the same time, and the energy from it just goes on and on. It's like if I am
You are stardust.
stardust, we are golden. We've got to get back to the garden. Then then I should walk around and wonder my whole life.
Yes.
Which makes me think of
Yes.
that paper that Helen
Ellen
Hunt
wrote, yeah,
wrote a long time ago.
100%. We are wonderful. So that's a great place to end this book discussion.
I'm thinking,
Yeah, that we are wonderful. You are wonderful. I am wonderful. We are wonderful. And can we wonder? And can we stay in a vision?
and we need relational resonance for that.
We do. We
Can't hold
do.
it by myself. I need the other.
That's right. And you should start planning a trip down to Costa Rica. Maybe I need to do an advanced class. What do you want to do? Let me know.
We've
You've
always
probably
wanted to
done
go
them
back.
all. You've done them
Pura
all.
vida.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Michelle.
Okay, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye, Bunny.